Articles of knowledge. Of the science of corruption. A control-shift operation of corruption and tyranny. A proprietary prototype. First deployed. The mercenary can ally to no one. The mercenary sacrifices himself, and his earnings. As it is spent, on the cost of his own protection. The mercenary has to use his same earnings, to keep his job. And he is a slave, to the scorn of the tyrant, to have to continually pay, for his own protection. I will use the highest corruption criminal record, of my greatest enemy threat. To make public enlightenment, of the reward, and byproduct. Of the nature of corruption. A sacrifice for my increase in power and control. The union of corruption workers gather together. My power has to make, definite progress. Then my mission is to make, a real, sacrifice, in mine enemy's territory, to increase my totalitarianism. One tyrant is determined to take control. Determined to make a sacrifice. The terror strike by corruption, has no self-security. The tyrant leader seeks to make progress in his ultimate control. Or to make himself happy. But only one tyrant will take control. Or the prime leaders will fight for control. Jobs in corruption gains no honor or virtue. The union of corruption workers gather together, to form equal control, for wealth, control, resource, and well-being. The price of good health, safety, security, fun, and happiness. Increase to oppressive levels. Controlled by corrupt minds. A sacrifice for my increase in power. The corrupt worker, uses his same earnings to keep his job. The corrupt have to use their same earnings, to keep their job. And those ultimately caught, and sentenced for great corruption crimes, in this corrupt system, often become slaves, until they die. And I have to say again, the mercenary can ally to no one. And the wrath, of the highest-ranking tyrant, comes down, as oppression, on all those who are corrupted. The mercenary sacrifices himself, and his earnings. As it is spent, on the cost of his own protection. And the mercenary has to use his same earnings, to keep his job. And he is a slave, to the scorn of the tyrant, to have to continually pay, for his own protection. And discontentment, vindication, and vendetta, forms, in the circle of tyranny. The final sacrifice. A deadly defense, is still a defense. A very unique wager, and a deadly wager. In this corrupt, and dying world, one identity, goes into my labor pool. Or out of my system. As I track the bodies of those truly deceased. I hope this literature is enlightening to you. As it is the reality of how the world manifests. Continue to listen to these recordings.